Hello, and welcome to a very special edition of my Music Life Coach for my new single out June 29th, You Forget. You kind of might have seen a preview. I'm going to re upload the lyric video because it got low views. Oh, who said that? But that's the life of a new artist, and I really wanted to talk about its influence while pulling out some oracle cards. I use the Moonology manifestation cards, these sacred rebels. One is for manifestation, one is for self-analysis, and of course, I forget the name of this deck. This is an astrology deck, and it's one of the most beautiful, powerful ones that I have actually. And this is kind of like future based, but a little bit more. I like to keep it self helpy because if you hear, you forget. And I appreciate as many subscribers, as many followers as possible. If you hear, you forget 777, which is angel number for abundance. And I did that purposefully. It's about blessings. Um, I wrote that song and I composed it out of this feeling of I live in Mercury retrograde. It's Pride Month. Um, I live in this, for how lonely I am, I'm kind of shocked by how many people come back into my life because I just like get calls all the time from old friends and exes, and you would think that's cute and cuddly, but they're an ex and an old friend for a reason, especially with my selection of toxic. And I don't know if by now the short story is published. It should be actually, or maybe I'll publish it after the release. Try to gain momentum and content. But um, I wrote this song, and I wanted Deandra Socks, one of my web series, to kind of combine as a promotion tool, but a tool as much for my music as for my healing and for your healing as well. Heal via me. And one of my most negative attributes is that I don't know how to pick people. I pick people that use me, that abuse me, that take from me. And I was a really sweet kid, raised to be nice, nice to everybody. And if somebody has a flaw and they're being dark with you, then you're just not being compassionate enough. Forgive them, move on, move forward. But those things are tricky. What does it mean to move on? What does it mean to move forward? And it's so funny because the first card I pulled was first quarter moon in Leo. Be humble. Leos aren't. Well, they do this weird thing like I'm shy, but I love to be the center of attention kind of thing. Oh, it's just my nature that I'm the center of attention, but I don't want to be. Does something like blatantly flamboyant and flashy. Um, and I think that, like, the thing about Leos is that they're destined to shine. And I have a lot of Leo placements. And the thing about humility is that I was talking to a client of mine. Check out astrolove.blog. It's my new, place to read natal charts and do oracle readings because I do this for fun, out of love, and trying to put my healing scent into the world. But one thing that I was telling a client is that delusion isn't about believing you can when you can't. It's about thinking you couldn't at all. Delusion is the negativity that we use as blocks to stop us from being positive, to stop us from going to our dreams, to stop us from hearing that call internally, that intuition, that desire that tells us, why don't you sing? Why don't you act? Why don't you try? Well, who cares about results? What about effort? What about the journey? What about being? Just being, doing to do. And that brings me to full moon in Aries, which is cool your emotions. And I was thinking about that in making this song because there's something really resentful about the song. There's something beautiful, and you could hear the lyric video. I still have it up, and I'm going to repost it again for Friday. Um, but there's something about the song that is just like you forget. People forget what you do for them. And they come back into your life when they need more, when they want more. They're like, hey, remember Deandra? Says an ex. Remember when she's nice, she'd be fun. And as somebody who invests in relationships without asking to receive, only to get burnt out, I I wrote "You Forget" as kind of my way to remember to build boundaries that not only in future relationships but with past ones that want to make themselves present ones. And full moon in Aries, full moon is all about releasing. Aries is fiery, it's passion. And sometimes I'm not an explosive person, but I could be, I do have a lot of feelings. I'm very sensitive in a good way. My heart is on my sleeve. I'm very transparent. And I think I was surprised in writing that song how angry I am about having been through so many relationships, from friends to lovers to family to even business, where I got burnt out, like burned out of the benefits, burned out of the love, burned out of the possibility of this person giving to me and being gaslit even by them. Oh, do you just give to receive? You should. It's not just about in giving you receive. It's about reciprocity, and it's about feeling you. If you don't give to yourself and you only give to others, you're going to be empty. And I think that my journey of self-love is realizing that I need to love myself to see who's actually loving me, to see who actually can, and do so in a way that is right and loving and filling and receiving. So the last card is full moon in Cancer. Cancer is super emotional, like Aries. Aries is more fiery, about anger, and let your fears dissolve. Full moon is all about releasing. And I think when I realize how much self love I need, how much love I deserve, my fear was that I'll never get it. The universe responds to who you are, and these are manifestation cards. The universe wants to give to you, but you have to be the person worthy of it giving, worthy of receiving. And sometimes my fear on that journey, especially as an artist, is whether there's a way for me to receive. Will I, how much self love do I have to get to the love part? You know, is it bad that I'm impatient? Is it bad that I'm ready? I just, sometimes the universe is tricky, even for a life coach. And you forget, if you hear the song, please go see it, hear it, give me some more views. But it's just so boppy and catchy because in some ways I like to make catchy songs because I'm so repetitive, as you will see in this video. Like I could really repeat one line over and over in my head. You're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. And I wanted to flip it and be like, no, Deandra, you're not the one forgetting, they are. You forget, you forget, you forget. You forget that I invested in our love. You forget that I invested in our relationship. You're the one coming back. I'm the one that left because I needed to protect me. Because sometimes you leave people to protect yourself. Because not only can you not give anymore, but they're going to take, what is that joke? She left him with nothing and she even took that. I think that's a Dave Chappelle joke. But these cards are all about healing. Oh my God, spirals of manifestation. What do you feel? I find it interesting. What do you feel came out upside down? And if you see, she's like holding fruit, floating flute while looking at the earth. And I think it's apropos that it came upside down. Some oracle readers, they decide based on the energy whether to actually read it reverse, because usually reverse means the opposite, or just go, doesn't matter, it all shares the same message. I think that this matters, the fact that it's reversed, because I think you forget, for me, was about acknowledging that I don't acknowledge my feelings in relationships. I kind of let myself be gaslit by people that kind of say, oh no, don't worry, I'll get to you. Or maybe I shouldn't give to you. I don't think you're behaving. I've heard that in relationships. And I kind of tell myself they're just being funny. Or they're just, they will eventually give, even though I gave first and I gave more and I'm giving the most and I'm giving now. One day they're going to give back. And Sacred Fool is one of my favorite cards because I always get it. I don't even know if I like the card. I'm always getting the Fool card in tarot because I think what my Scorpio placements, if they mean anything, it's that I go through a lot of transformation, a lot of death in my life. And I have a song coming out eventually that's all about that, kind of being one body, living a million lives. And Sacred Fool is about starting over. And I think when you let go of people, you tell the universe you're ready to start over. But what's so scary, and here's where that card about letting fears dissolve, full moon and Cancer comes in, is that there's quiet. The universe doesn't celebrate that you decided to change. It doesn't give you roses the minute you start changing. It kind of, there's this quiet dark period of like, hello, I'm being more loving to myself. Can I get romance? It's just this quietness that's so, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that noise. Anyway, the next is bring it into form. If you see, every journey starts with a step. And she's kind of like walking into her beautiful thoughts. And at Deandra Socks, I'm doing more episodes, and I really hope you get to watch that as well. Feel free to click out and click in. Deandra Socks was this thought that was circling my head about how there's just no more kid shows for people, for adults, and we all feel more lost than ever. And how it's like the minute you hit 18, there's not as much guidance anymore. There's just this feeling of like time for you to figure it out, and life gets harder. It doesn't get better. You get better at how hard it is. And maybe one day it will get better. But you'll be surprised how many times you'll say, I can't. And then it just lowers the bar and you're even worse. And you're like, I guess I can, but I don't want to. And then the bar lowers even more. And when I wrote You Forget, I've just been really analyzing my past. And that Cool Your Emotions in Aries is totally right. Because I get angry and I get resentful. And I'm just shocked at how many people have crossed my path to make me less, to give me less and make me feel like I deserved even lesser from family, even family too. And it just hurts so bad. It makes you lose your hope. It makes you lose your faith. And that's where this card comes in, Spirals of Manifestation, which is a really good card to get. This is all about opening your mind. If you see light coming in and opening your chakras to feeling and embodying and thus becoming and manifesting. Feeling, embodying that feeling, becoming that feeling, and thus manifesting the reality that matches that feeling. That's how you manifest. And it might take a while. Let me tell you, some people could do it in a minute. I have a friend that could be single for a day, and she just lights her little love candle, and next week she has 3 potentials. Some of them are little. But she just sees herself as an entity of love and thus cannot be without it. And I'm learning to be a better manifester. I know the rules, I just don't follow them. And what I love about this card and the fact that it came out with my song is that I wanted You Forget to be my chance, the beginning of me giving myself a chance, really. And that's why I've been so hesitant to release it, so hesitant to start this journey. It's like once you go, and you got to work really hard. And I'm a little bit emotionally burnt out because I've lived so much of my life in ways I didn't want for people that I just wanted to want me. And you wake up and you're like, it's almost like You're telling this person you forget because in truth you're starting to remember. And you don't know how you're going to get better, but you just know you need to. Whew, and it comes out June 29th. And I'm trying to see if I release like new music every week or every 2 weeks. I don't know. Just throw everything in the wall and see what sticks, because it's all about, I just want to. I want to do what I want already. Jeez Louise. So the card that came out is Inspiration. Whoa. What a beautiful card. And if you see, she's just like, she's wearing this beautiful dress. And I became Irish. And 12 is a really powerful number of abundance and dreams coming true. And the moon is just like squinting at her like, hey girl, I see you. I see you. I'm sending you my energy. The moon means changes. And when you're inspired, you change your life. You change it first by thoughts, then by feelings, and then eventually by actions. And then those actions lead to results. And those results change you too. Next card is Appreciation, something I definitely need. And 5 means changes. And the 9 is interesting, principle. And I love this because you see it's like a deacon's hat and this little blue dove holding stars and roses, and the sun and moon is looking upon all of them. And I think you see there's a little guy in the corner starting his journey. I want you forget to be appreciated. I want to be appreciated too. Part of what's so scary is that you live so much unappreciated that you wonder, could I even? Will I always be thankless? Will I always have to be thankful for things I don't like? For situations that make me uncomfortable? Just trying to be thankful for the little parts of it that I can hold on to until hopefully I get better one day, or I just get through this. And principle is one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn as an artist and as a person, because we make fun of people so much in this world. And I've been made fun of a lot in my life. And I've been questioned, been like, Deandra's weird. What is she doing? She's eccentric. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want to be made fun of, but can I really help it? I'll always be unique. But principle is about living in that uniqueness despite everyone. Being you to be you. It's about being authentic because that's where you breathe. Because I've been normal and I've tried to follow the crowd and felt like oxygen was leaving me. And even though I cry when people hurt my feelings and try to make me less, I don't feel as bad when I know they were just making less the real version of me. It's like, it sucks that you didn't love who I was, but at least I gave you who I was. I gave you love and you didn't like my love. You didn't appreciate my love, but I do know I gave love. And there is a little breath in that. There is a little relief in that, because you could follow the crowd and feel so hidden, even though you're with everybody. And maybe that's the point. Stop being with everybody. Start being with you. So here we have, and I think that's like the end of my message. Yeah. I think innovation, something I'm trying to, my music is really unique. I think you're going to like it. Speculation. People always talk about the new. Optimism and status. I think eventually you land, you become memorable through your uniqueness. You really do. For better or worse. Whoever likes my music or doesn't. Whoever likes my web series or doesn't. Whoever understands it or doesn't. It's kind of like you do make an impact when you start being impactful. And you start being impactful when you start being authentic. And You Forget is kind of the first step of that for me, and lyrically as a song. Because the first step of starting to be you is taking out all the people and blocking out all the people that made you feel like you never could be. that made you feel like you never could demand, you never could ask, you never could have a boundary, you never could say yes, you never could say no. Just removing their energies, the memories of them, just taking them out to build new memories with yourself and eventually the people who love you for who you are. So, check out You Forget. It comes out June 29th. And watch the video. The lyric video is out. I'm going to re-release it. And look up my website, deandreviewthitall.com, because a short story is coming. I got to decide if I want it this week or the first week of July. Yeah. Yee, June 29th. Follow me on Spotify.